Hello again. I'm sure that we're all familiar with the never-ending quest to find things that white people can feel guilty about. You might have thought that we would be running low on such subjects by now, but then you would be underestimating the ingenuity of the race grifters and social justice warriors. Have you ever wondered what was going on when you were tending to your garden? Colonialism. That's what. You laugh? You think I'm being funny? Not a bit of it. London Transport has produced a handy leaflet called the Brixton Botanical Map. I give a link in the description to this video so that viewers can download a copy for themselves. And what an eye-opener! The next time you tell somebody you bought an exotic plant for your garden, you best take a moment to check your privilege. The glossary to this leaflet tells us that one of the ways colonial legacies are perpetuated in horticulture is through language. As colonial language is increasingly interrogated in literature and culture, we rarely question its influence on our names for plants. All too true, I'm afraid. I certainly haven't yet done so. In this map, where horticultural names which use words which are now considered outdated and offensive are referenced, they are done so in quote marks. This attempts to query their common use in horticultural literature. Do you think these people speak like this in their private lives? Increasingly interrogated in literature. Weird. One of the words they are fretting about is exotic. It seems that the term has colonial connotations and refers to a mysterious foreign quality. So don't let me catch anybody saying that they've just got an exotic plant for their garden. Have you ever looked at one of the London planes, which are a common sight in the streets of London? They're a hybrid of the American sycamore and the oriental plane. This is simply a fact, by the way. Not so fast, though. This is racist language. I quote once more from the glossary to the Brixton Botanical Map. Oriental, an outdated and derogatory term to describe people or objects from or characteristic of Asia. I hope that none of you will be applying such outdated and derogatory terms to oriental plane trees in the future. Anybody have a wisteria in their garden? Oh, Warrant, you've never asked yourself where it comes from. It was brought to England by a man called John Reeves, who was a tea inspector for the East India Company. Therefore, wisteria has awful colonial connections with India. Just think of that. Enjoy a bit of rhubarb? Did you know that this only became popular when sugar was imported from slave plantations in the West Indies? Even eating rhubarb can be a political act. And whatever you do, don't, for heaven's sake, speak of native species of plants or invasive species. This conjures histories of conquest. This map is being handed out free at Brixton Tube Station, and I dare say that you're wondering who has paid for all this nonsense. The answer is, you did. It's produced by Transport for London, which is subsidised by the Greater London Authority. This, in turn, gets its money chiefly from the government and also from council taxpayers in London. The London congestion charge also pays for it. In short, every taxpayer in Britain ultimately funds leaflets like the one at which we have been looking, as to those who pay tube fares or the congestion charge. We really must be a nation of mugs.